What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to another majestic comic book review video where I say words and you, the magically delicious, listen. It is I, your crazy Nicolas Cage, your steward of Gondor, your genius, billionaire playboy, basic YouTuber philanthropist, SuperCliff, and would you kindly hit that like and subscribe button for every little bit helps in this majestic YouTube world. And today, folks, we are covering Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 1, written by DCeased Golden Boy, Tom Taylor, with the art drawn by John Timms and the colors by Gabe Eltab. And away we go. Alrighty, folks. So our story begins in the past, during an alien invasion, and Superman, he's currently fighting against it, alongside Green Lantern John Stewart and Martian Manhunter. Now, at the same time, we are given a voiceover from Jonathan Kent, and he's explaining to us that his father had told him that this was the single greatest day of his life, minus the alien invasion part, because it was on this particular day he was doing what he does, trying to save the world, a basic Tuesday. However, it was during this battle where Superman's friends tell him that he's not supposed to be here, because seemingly Superman needs to be somewhere else. Somewhere that's currently more important and more important than an attempted planetary invasion. Now, Superman, he isn't happy about this, but he's like, fine, you know what, you guys, you got this. I'll head out. After all, it's only an attempted invasion. Now, upon arriving at the Fortress of Solitude, Superman is greeted by Batman, who's currently on guard duty because he's Batman and that's what he does. He guards and protects. But we also see here that Superman is truthfully grateful that Batman's here to help. Now, the reason as to why the Justice League wanted Superman to be present here at the fortress during an alien invasion, quote, is because once we venture inside, we see Lois Lane, who's currently going through labor. And yeah, it doesn't look fun for her at all. Like, it's obvious she is having a terrible time. But luckily, Wonder Woman is coaching her through this ordeal. And once Superman shows up to be with Lois, during this magical moment, Wonder Woman mentions that the birth of this child is the single most important event that is occurring, which is why no one gives a crap about some attempted alien invasion, because their soon-to-be born son could be the greatest hero that this world could ever see. And alas, Jonathan Kent, the son of Kal-El, is born. From there, we jump to the future, to the state of California, where a deadly forest fire is currently happening. However, Superman himself, Jonathan Kent, is on the scene, and just like that, faster than fate and faster than a speeding bullet, our hero of hope is willing to do whatever it takes to help out. Now, after some careful examination while trying to stop the fire, Superman eventually learns that this freak forest fire is actually being caused by a young metahuman who's recently begun to develop his powers. And it turns out that the more this metahuman's anxiety flares up, so too does his fire abilities. Basically, he's just having a tough time, and he's scared. He doesn't know what to do, and quite frankly, so would I. I would definitely be shitting my pants if this were to happen to me. But fortunately, it's not, because instead, I'm making this YouTube video. I digress. But alas, folks, in a scene that depicts the very message of Superman himself, that being compassion, is put on display as John Kent simply walks over to this young, scared metahuman and hugs him, telling the guy that it's going to be okay. And with that, Superman tells our scared metahuman to just breathe. And it's through this display of compassion and sympathy, we see the forest fire cease. Thus, John saves the day. Afterwards, once everything seems to be cool, calm, and collected, and seeing that his job is done and everything is back to happy time, John takes off. Except it's not. Because once John leaves, the government soldiers who have apprehended the metahuman start pounding the crap out of him to ensure that he doesn't start off another fire while in their custody. Immediately, John comes back to defend the metahuman, but after some tense and unfortunate consideration, and not really wanting to go against the government so early in his Superman career, John allows the government to take the metahuman into their custody. Later, we pick up on the island of Corto Maltese, and it's here where we see John talking to his best friend, Damian Wayne, during the events of his own current book by Joshua Williamson. And so, as per usual, whenever Damian is in the middle of fighting the forces of evil, or that of a group of trained ninjas, John is forced to converse with his friend, whilst Damian manages to multitask. Now, it's here where our two heroes are talking about legacy and how each of them want to continue their respected father's missions in making the world a better place. Now for John, rather than continually fighting the fight, he wants to do much more. For he doesn't just want to put out the forest fires, he wants to learn the root, the cause of these forest fires, so that he can fix it. Now after Damien finishes up rounding up these ninjas, he shows John a video on his phone. John is told about an underground stream called the Truth, a group of people who report things that most people are too afraid to talk about. Damien then reminds John that he's the son of ace reporter Lois Lane, a woman who has dedicated her entire life to expose corruption and injustice. And so it's no wonder that John feels the need to do more. So perhaps if John takes a look at this group of reporters, perhaps he can come across something that's bigger than an everyday forest fire. And it's with that where John declares that he wants the symbol on his chest to stand for truth, justice, and a better world. Because at the end of the day, John just wants to help. Therefore, it's time for Superman to stop fighting the symptoms, for it's time for Superman to become the cure, not the ban. And that, folks, was Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 1. And Tom Taylor hits a grand slam with this. One of the things I considerably noticed while reading the book was the fact that even though Clark Kent isn't the main Superman being featured, that never really bothered me at all. It never really bothered me in any way, shape, or form. Like, I was completely invested with John Kent as Superman. And yeah, it was great. I thoroughly enjoy seeing John showing compassion, showing hope, but at the same time realizing, at least with regards to the metahuman and his conversation with Damien, that John, he doesn't just want to be a Superman who saves the day and who just saves the day all the time, and having not really change anything at the end. Like, to quote the book here, John doesn't want to fight the symptoms, he wants to be the cure. And yeah, that's a pretty dope concept of wanting to approach a situation that, truthfully has been happening for the last 80 years of Superman's publication history. I'm also really glad that Tom Taylor didn't just throw in a big Rogolzar monster in this, because I think the struggle, at least for the first arc, is John's battle with being Superman. Not that he can't be Superman, which we obviously know through Philip Kennedy Johnson, but what kind of Superman can John be? What is he offering on the table? And I think that's a really great approach of how to handle the John character going forward. And I assume we're going to get a lot of Lois Lane influence in this book, which I'm all about because, I love Superman. He's my favorite superhero, but a lot of the time he does need Lois to tell him like, hey, you're doing it wrong. Like, don't do that. Also, more Damien the better. The art in this book was also really good. It's weird because, because both John Sims and colors Gabe Eltab worked with Philip Kennedy Johnson prior to this, but the art in those books never really connected with me. But here, it's the complete opposite. The more I think about it, I think it may have to do with the fact that there's a lot more activity, a lot more noise happening on the pages. And yeah, like there's a lot happening in this book, especially during the wildfire scene. And yeah, so you guys, you artistic, talented people, keep doing what you're doing. Overall, Superman, Son of Kal-El was a fantastic start to this new era of Superman, and I cannot wait for issue number 2. Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 1, gets a sexy 9.5 out of 10. Giggity goo.